guys, thanks for joining us for our 1 hour Matwork Pilates class tonight. We're going to be using our bands and also our foam roller. If you don't have those items, that's okay. I'll give you an alternative. People have been using stretchy tights instead of bands as an alternative, so you could use that if you wanted to. And you can also use a rolled up towel as an alternative to the foam roller if you don't have one. So we're going to start our class off today with some plio. So that's just to get our muscles nice and warm, get ourselves ready to get our heart rate up a little bit, get our muscles ready to work. I wanted to say before we start that if you haven't done one of my classes before, then it's better to hop off this class now and go and do the Pilates basics or the introduction into Pilates class, so that you understand all the terminology that I use. So if you're coming into this class without that basic knowledge, it's going to be a little bit confusing and it's probably not very safe. So make sure you have those basics underneath your belt before you come and do these classes, these full Matwork classes. All right, so we're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to draw those shoulder blades down and back. So we're going to make sure we've got a nice length at the back of the neck, chin slightly tucked in, and we're going to have our band at about chest level. So we're going to be working our shoulder blades, so drawing our shoulders down and back as we stretch the band across the chest, taking care not to hunch the shoulders. So keep the shoulders set down, and as we do that, we're going to make sure we're pressing down into a plio. And we need to make sure when we do our plio, we're not rolling our knee in. So you need to keep your knee pressing back against, pushing back so that it's in line with your toe, not rolling in with your knees. So we're going to inhale, T-zone switches on. So draw up your pelvic floor, draw your navel in. And then as you breathe out, we lower and stretch the band across the chest. Breathe in as you come up and breathe out as you lower. 2 and 3 and 4. So we're exhaling as we lower, inhaling as we're coming up. Good. 3. Really should feel those shoulder blades working. So if you're not, take up a little bit more band, make it a little harder. 2 and 1. Hold the band open and do little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5. Shoulders down and back. 3, 2, 1. Second set. Inhale up. Exhale lower. 1. You should feel those legs warming up. And 2. And 3. So every time you come up, try to reactivate that T-zone. So draw the tummy in and lower. And 3. Heart rate's up a little bit. Little pulses again. Hold down and pulse. Shoulders working. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. Very good. And place the band to the side. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. Draw those shoulders down and back. And we're going to come into another plie again. Now, you might feel like your legs are already really tired, so you don't have to make that a really deep plie. But if you want to make it a little harder, take a slightly wider stance and take it a little deeper. So T-zone switches on, pelvic floor up, navel in towards our spine as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower. And then we're going to lift one heel. And we're going to do little pulses here. So keeping the tummy drawn in and keep the bottom under. So we're not poking the bottom out, we're keeping it tucked under. 2, 1, and then we're going to change heels. So lift the other one up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to try and balance on both. Now, if you can't do that, that's fine. Just try and hold the plie. Go a little lower if you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. And shake the legs out a little bit. Walk the feet in. And then we're going to twist and stretch. Oh, so just releasing off this back and neck and shoulders. And I always feel a few pops and cracks when I do this. It's a really nice sensation. Twisting and stretching. Nice deep breathing. Good. And slowing that down. And we're going to stand at the end of the mat, ready to do a roll down. So we're going to stand at the end. Our feet are about hip distance apart. We get a nice upright posture to start off with. So you'll remember from those basics classes, we have our neutral spine. Natural curve in the neck, natural curve in the mid-back and the lower back. Tailbone is tucked under, T-zone is drawn up, shoulder blades are down and back. Breathe in at the top. And then as we breathe out, we're going to fold ourselves over, starting with our head. So our head starts to drop forward first. We draw in our belly as we fold ourselves over. Try and keep even weight between the heels and the ball of the feet, so don't press your weight over your heels too much. And then when you've folded all the way over as far as you can go, just do a few long deep breaths. So inhale. And as you exhale, try and get a little more length in the back of the leg. Crown of the head reaches towards the mat. And exhale and fold. Very good. And with our next exhale, we're going to walk our hands out. So inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to walk our hands out into a plank position. So walking the hands out, taking the hands slightly wider than shoulder width, and we're going to hold a plank. Now, if you want to come down onto your knees, you can to make it slightly easier. Otherwise, stay up in that nice plank position. Push away from the mat gently, keep the chin tucked in. 7, 6, tummy in, don't let that back sag. 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to go into a pike. So we're going to lift our hips up towards the ceiling. And then rest our heels towards the mat to stretch through the calf muscles. Inhale. And exhale, press those heels a little more. 2 more breaths. And with our next exhale, we're going to come back into that plank. Inhale. And exhale, come forward again. Remember, you can come onto your knees if you need to. Draw the belly up and hold. 2, all the way to 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Come onto the knees. And then press back in child's pose and rest. A few long, deep breaths here. Good. So we're going to bring one leg in front of us now. And we're going to come into a lunge position. Now this is quite a challenging exercise. So if you're feeling like it's too much or you can't maintain that pressing away from the mat, you can just hold the stretch here. You don't need to make it harder. I'm going to gradually increase the difficulty of the exercise. So we're in this position here and we're just pulsing forward. 3, 2, 1. Make it harder. We're going to straighten that bad leg, climb the knee, pulse here. 3, 2, 1. Make it harder again, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling and pulsing. So you don't have to move on to these harder levels if you don't want to. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hands come into a prayer position. I want you to twist your body and then get that elbow on the outside of the knee and lean into that stretch. So you should feel a nice stretch through the hip on the side that you're turning towards. 3, 2, 1. Hands come down and let's go into a hip flexor stretch. So rest that knee, climb the knee here, and then gently press that hip towards the mat. So I want you to feel a nice stretch in through the front of the thigh. So we're not working and pulsing that leg anymore, we're just stretching. And you can make this a little more difficult or a bit more stretch by lifting the arms up towards the ceiling and gently arching the back. A few deep breaths in this position. Good, hands can come down by the front foot. I want you to straighten that front leg and press the heel back on the back leg. So we're stretching the calf muscle on the back leg and through the hamstring through the front leg. Breathing and stretching. Doing really well. This is a nice challenging start to the class, so don't feel too overwhelmed. We are going to lie down eventually. Good. So come down now, so bending that front knee, resting the one behind. And we'll switch legs. So that leg can go behind. We'll bring the other one up to the front. Hands are either side of the foot to start off with. We're on the toe of the back foot, so we're not resting that foot down. Some people have problems with cramp, particularly if they have that leg, that back leg pointed. So it's a good idea to keep the toes underneath you on that back foot. So we're just going to make this gradually harder. So we're pulsing here. 2, 3. Let's make it a little harder. Come onto that back foot, climb the knee. Pulse. 3, 4. Let's make it a little harder again. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hands come into the prayer pose. Twist the torso, tuck the elbow behind that straight knee, and stretching. This is a hard pose, so if you're really struggling, don't stress. Come and rest that back knee. So you don't have to come back onto that back foot if you don't want to, or if it feels uncomfortable. Good, slowly come back. Come back onto that knee, hands come to the mat. Let's go into adjust to hip flexor stretch now. So this time I want you to focus on pressing that hip of the leg that's behind us towards the mat. And you should feel a really strong stretch in through the front of the thigh. And again, you can increase that stretch by climbing the knee and reaching the arms up. And really breathe into that stretch. Don't stay in one position. Make it slightly harder every time you exhale. Gradually increasing the length in that muscle. Hip flexors are one of those muscles that get really overworked, so stretching is really important. As is the hamstring. So let's place our hands either side of that front foot. We're going to straighten that front leg and press that back heel down. And you can lift and you can gradually draw your head towards the knee if you want to. You don't have to. Breathing and stretching. So calf on the back foot, hamstring on the front. Good. One more breath. Very good. Rest that knee. Place that foot behind you. And rest in the child's pose. I want you to do a few long, deep breaths here. So when you inhale, try and feel as though someone has your hands on those back ribs and you're pressing those hands away as you breathe in. So really expand the rib cage. Try and get the sensation of those intercostal muscles or the small muscles between your ribs stretching as you inhale. Very good. And we'll come up and we're going to grab our foam roller. So, I have here a 90cm foam roller. Hopefully you have one. If you don't, you can use a rolled up towel for this exercise, but you must have a pillow underneath your back and underneath your head. So what we don't want is for you to be lying on your back with your head lagging behind. Your head needs to be in line and a neutral spine. So hopefully you have this foam roller with you. Make sure the band is within reach. And the way we get onto that foam roller, the easiest way is to sit right on the edge of it, almost as if you're going to fall off the edge of it. And then slowly lower yourself down so that your whole spine is resting on the foam roller, including your head. Good. So we're going to work a little bit on the shoulders here with our foam, with our band. Now, if you don't have the band, do the exact same movements of the arms, but without the band. So we're going to be holding the band between the thumb and the forefinger. And again, it's at chest level. So as we open it here, we don't want it to be opening over our face or over our belly button. It needs to be over our chest. Make sure you take enough resistance with the band so that it's challenging to open. So you don't want it to be super easy. Our feet, knees and hips are in one long line. So we're not turning our feet or our knees in or out. They're in line with our hips. Our T-zone switches on, and we need to use our T-zone here to keep ourselves stable on the foam roller. So we don't want to be wobbling around on our foam roller. It introduces instability, which means that we have to concentrate more on stabilizing. But that stabilization doesn't come through pressing through the feet or the hands. It needs to come from your center. So inhale, T-zone switches on. Pelvic floor up, navel in towards your spine. And then as you exhale, you're going to choose one arm to open while the other stays still. And then we're going to stay on that arm. So inhale, bring that arm back, and then exhale, open again. So same arm. And we really want to make sure as we're opening that arm that we're getting the sensation of drawing the shoulder down and back and feeling the shoulder blade wrap around the foam roller or the towel. Inhale, back, T-zone switches on. Exhale, open. So remember, every movement in Pilates starts with our center. Working those center muscles first, and then we're opening that arm. Try not to wobble. Use your tummy muscles to stop yourself from wobbling. All right, let's do the other side. Inhale, back. Exhale, open. Other arm. So the arm that's moving is obviously working here, but the one that's still is working as well to resist the pull of that arm. So that still arm should be really, really still. It shouldn't even move an inch or a centimeter. And to do that, to resist the pull of the band, you really need to focus on that shoulder blade as well. Inhale, back, T-zone. Exhale, open. Inhale, back. And open. Good, let's do one more. And open. And back, very good. We're going to do 4, both arms opening. You might need to let a little bit of band go. T-zone switches on as you inhale, pelvic floor up, navel in, spine is neutral. Exhale, open the band across the chest. Inhale, back. T-zone, exhale, open. Draw those shoulders down and back. Feel the foam roller there as your shoulder blades wrap around it. And one more, inhale, back. And exhale, open. Very good, and inhale back. Let's stretch. Place the band to the side. Both arms up. Palms facing inwards, draw the shoulder blades down and back. Inhale, T-zone switches on. As you exhale, I want you to open the arms at shoulder level. Then bend the elbows, keeping the palms facing the ceiling, making sure the elbows are higher than the shoulder height. And then very slowly allow the shoulders, the elbow, and the hand to sink towards the mat. So that we're opening up, and you should feel a stretch through the chest. And you should feel that opening up through the mid-back as well, as the foam roller presses into that curve. So then we breathe. Inhale, allow the front of the ribs to open and expand so that you feel those muscles between the ribs stretching. And then as you exhale, practice activating your T-zone. Long, deep breath in. And exhale, T-zone. Two more breaths in your own breath. Opening up through the chest. And one more. Very good. Let's bring those arms by our side now. Four elbows, forearms and hands resting on the mat. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, so make sure you're not tensing through the neck. I want you to bring your attention to your contact points on the mat now. So if you've got the foam roller in your spine, obviously you've got your whole spine resting on the foam roller. I want you to feel your contact with your hands, your forearms and your feet. And try to get a sensation of whether or not you're pressing more through one hand or the other, more through one foot than the other. And try and even all of that out. So really relax through the feet, relax through the hands. And I want you to keep that sensation as we do these exercises now. So when we bring one leg into tabletop in a second, I don't want you to press through the hands. I don't want you to press through the foot that's on the floor. I want you to use your T-zone muscles to stabilize yourself instead of pressing through the mat. So let's give it a go. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, one leg comes into tabletop. Level one, we're just going to use the leg. T-zone in again. Exhale, reach the leg out. Turn it out slightly and lower it, keeping the spine neutral, so don't let the spine lift. And inhale back. Don't press through the hands or the feet. And exhale, reach. And inhale back. Good, let's make it a little harder if you want to. We're going to bring the opposite arm up, palm facing inward. Draw that shoulder away from the ear though, so don't tense the neck, and it stays away from the ear. Inhale again, T-zone. Exhale, reach the arm and leg away. Inhale, bring that leg and arm back to the middle. Just a tabletop. Don't let the knee creep too close to the body, yeah? Keep it in that proper tabletop position. Exhale, reach. Spine stays neutral, don't let the back arch. Inhale, draw back in. Exhale, reach. Now, if you want to make it challenging again, if you're really advanced, you can bring the other leg into a tabletop position. But first we must imprint our spine. So draw the spine in towards the foam roller, bring the other leg up into tabletop, and keep going. Must be able to maintain imprinted spine. Inhale back. Exhale, reach. So we definitely don't want to be wobbling around in these exercises. So if you feel like you're wobbling, place the other foot back down, or the hand if you need to, and keep going at the previous level. That's the dog's barking. Inhale back. And exhale, reach. And inhale back. And reach. Good. Let's do two more. And reach. And back. And reach. Very good. And bring that leg back. And rest it down. Now we're going to go straight to the other side. Reset your contact points though, so make sure you've got that nice evenness in your contact points. Make sure your spine is nice and neutral. Remember, at any time if you find it too challenging, if you've got any pain in your back because the foam roller is there and you're a bit stiff, you can do all these exercises without the foam roller, so you don't need to have that foam roller there. T-zone switches on. Exhale, the other leg comes into a tabletop position, making sure our knee lines up with our hip, shin is parallel with the ceiling. Inhale again, draw the belly in. Exhale, reach and lower, keeping the spine neutral. Inhale to draw the leg back in. And exhale, reach it out. Try to have a bit of turn out of your leg when you reach. It just helps to get out of your hip flexor a little bit. Inhale, draw that leg back in. Let's bring the opposite arm up, palm facing inward. Draw that shoulder away from the ear. Remember, you don't have to make it harder if you don't want to, so you can stick with the leg if you need to. T-zone switches on. And exhale, reach away. Taking care not to hunch your shoulder towards the ear. Keep the spine neutral, don't let the back arch. Inhale, draw the leg back in. And exhale, reach. So if you can't lower your leg very far before you feel your back arching, that's completely fine. There's absolutely no reason for you to lower your leg past the point of where your back starts to arch. That means your tummy muscles aren't doing their job anymore. They've reached the point where they can no longer hold your spine in neutral, and that's where you need to stay. For now, at least, until you get a bit stronger. Remembering, if you want to, you can make this harder by bringing the other leg into tabletop. T-zone switches on, you have to imprint your spine first, bring the other leg up, balancing, inhale again, and exhale, reach. Inhale, draw back in, and exhale, reach. Try not to wobble. Good, and exhale, reach. Good, let's do two more. Inhale back, draw the shoulder away from the ear, exhale. Good, last one. Inhale, and exhale. Very good, inhale back. Let's rest that leg. And I'm going to bring those arms back into that nice stretch position. So palms both fast facing inwards, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, T-zone switches on. Exhale, open both arms. Bend the elbows, keep the palms facing the ceiling, and allow the arms to gently lower toward the mat. Feeling that stretching through the chest. And then we do some nice deep breathing. Inhale. And exhale, T-zone. Inhale. And exhale. And let's do one more. Very good. Let's bring our arms back by our side now. Elbows, hands resting. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, so make sure our posture is correct. Slightly tuck in the chin. And we're going to have a go at bringing both of our legs into tabletop now. So we'll leave our hands down. And we're going to try and bring both of our legs into tabletop. So remembering for our tabletop position, we're bringing both legs up, we need to use our imprinted spine. So we might just make that triangle with our hands, place it on our pelvis so that our fingers are touching our pubic bone and our thumbs are meeting. And we're going to practice some imprinted spines, just a couple. Inhale, T-zone, pelvic floor up, navel in. As you exhale, I want you to use your tummy, not your glutes, your tummy, to press your spine in towards the foam roller. If the foam roller is there. If it's the mat's just fine. Inhale back to neutral, so curl that back into a neutral spine. And exhale, using the tummy to press your spine in towards the foam roller. Good, and inhale back. Excellent. Let's bring our arms back by our side. And now we're going to do this imprinted spine with our legs in tabletop. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, press the spine in towards the foam roller first. Then one leg comes up. Holding the imprint, the other leg comes up. Now, if you feel that you can't maintain that imprint, I want you to do these exercises with one foot down. So do one leg at a time. Inhale, T-zone, as we allow one leg to drop towards the mat into a toe tap. So it doesn't matter if your toes don't touch the mat. You might find you can only allow your leg to lower a little bit before your back starts to lift. So if that happens, then that's your range, and that's fine. Inhale as you go drop, and then exhale as you bring it back. Inhale, other leg, so we're alternating sides. Exhale, back. Inhale, lower, don't let the back arch. Exhale, back. Inhale, tummy should be really working. Exhale, back. Good. Make sure as you lower your leg, you're not changing the angle between the knee and the upper thigh. So I'm not bending my knee and then dropping my foot. That's cheating. So keep your knee, your thigh, and your lower leg at a right angle, and you're keeping that same amount of bend as you lower. And it might mean that you can't drop that foot as far, and that's okay. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back. Don't increase the bend in the knee. Keep the legs in tabletop position. Okay, make sure you're not creeping those thighs towards your body. Keeping the legs in tabletop. Good, let's do one more on each leg. I know your tummy's working. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back. -2. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back. Very good. And lower the legs one at a time to rest. Very nice. So just resting there for a minute. We're going to do one more exercise on this foam roller before we roll off. This next exercise is going to be single leg extension, double leg extension with both legs lifted. So let's bring both of those legs into tabletop again. T-zone switches on. Exhale, draw the spine in towards the foam roller. One leg comes up and then the other. Inhale again, T-zone, presses the spine into the foam roller. Exhale, one leg extends. Inhale, draw it back in. Exhale, other side. Now, if you're finding your tummy muscles just are not working anymore, they're so tired that you can't even keep those muscles or those legs in that position, just bring the legs down and have a rest. We're not going to spend long here before we move on to the next exercise, so don't push yourself to the point where you're feeling it in the wrong spots. Good, double leg extension, so 4 of them, and then we're finished. Inhale, exhale, both legs reach. Inhale, bend, tummy, 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 stay imprinted, exhale, reach. 2 more. So to make it harder, you reach lower, but don't arch the back. Last one. And back. Very good. And rest one leg down at a time. Don't rush. And lower and down. And rest. And very slowly roll off the foam roller. Place it to the bottom. And then we're going to go into a nice spine stretch. So just place that foam roller to the side. We're going to straighten one leg out. Keep the other one bent up. Tuck the foot behind the straight knee. Hand comes to the outside of the knee. Opposite arm reaches out. And then gently bring the knee across. And it always feels nice, this stretch after lying on the foam roller, because you've been in that extended position for so long. And gently increase the stretch. And then we're going to switch sides. So coming back to the middle. Extend that leg out. Bend the other one up. Tuck the foot behind. And gently bring the knee across. Back to the middle. Very good. And we're going to move on to some curl ups now. Not too many, because I know we've already done a little bit of ab work there. So we're just going to do some, we've done some work with the legs in working our tummy, and now we're going to get some work into the upper body with working our tummy. So we're going to do 2 rounds. And we're going to make it slightly difficult on the second round. So if you feel like you can do those more difficult exercises, then go for it. And if you feel like you just want to do 2 rounds of the simpler version, that's okay too. So we're going to interlace our hands. We're going to place them behind the head, and we're going to wiggle our shoulder blades down and back. So make sure that you're not tensing up through the neck. Feet, knees, and hips are in line, and our spine starts in neutral, and it's going to stay in neutral throughout this exercise. So we're not bringing our legs up at this stage. Breathing into our T-zone, so pelvic floor up, navel in towards our spine, but keep the spine neutral. So just because you're turning on your T-zone doesn't mean you press your spine into the mat. We'll turn those muscles on first, and then as we exhale, we're going to curl up. So looking towards the knees, remembering that we're trying to keep our chin in a position as if we're holding a medium-sized tomato that we can't squash, but we can't drop. So we're keeping that nice consistent distance. And then inhale as we lower ourselves back down. And then exhale as we lift. And as we're lifting, remembering that we're drawing our tummy muscles in. So we're not pressing them out. It's the sensation of drawing in, like we're doing upper torso. And exhale, lift. Now to make it harder, you can lift higher, so you can get all of your shoulder blade up off the mat. And you can also not rest in between, so don't place the head all the way back down in between if you want to make it a bit more challenging. Inhale, lower, but don't touch. Exhale, lift. Don't forget the sequence though. Pelvic floor up, navel in, exhale, lift. Good, let's do 2 more. Good, oblique curl next. So inhale as we lower back down. This time, as we exhale, we're going to twist so that our shoulder goes towards the opposite hip. So T-zone, pelvic floor up, navel in. Exhale, lift and twist. Not the elbow stays wide. Shoulder comes across. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, other side. Inhale back. Exhale, other side. Good. Lift and twist. So you should feel as though your ribs are drawing down towards the hip on the side that you're turning towards. So we're working that side portion, or the lateral portion of the transversus abdominis, of the deep abdominals. Let's do 1 more on each side. Lift and twist. Inhale back. Other side. Lift and twist. Inhale back and rest. Very good. Reach the arms above the head. Let the legs straighten out. And just let the tummy muscles stretch for a minute. So we're going to make it slightly harder for this next set. So remembering, if you're feeling as though that was hard enough as it was, just do the same thing. The upper body doesn't change, it's the lower body that makes it harder. So we're going to bend the knees up, interlace the hands and place them behind the head again so that we're ready with our upper body. Wiggle the shoulder blades down, slightly chuck the chin so the back of the neck is long. Let's bring our legs into a tabletop position, so both of them here. Inhale, T-zone switches on. Exhale, imprint the spine. Remember, it doesn't come from your glutes. Glutes stay relaxed, tummy draws in. One leg comes up and then the other. And then glue the knees and the feet together. Inhale again, make sure the chins are parallel with the ceiling. Exhale, draw the belly in, T-zone, and lift. And inhale back. And exhale, lift. Inhale back. Let's extend one leg this time. Exhale, lift, extend one leg. Inhale back, alternate legs, other leg. Inhale back. Good. One more on each leg. Inhale back. Other leg. Double leg extension now. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, reach and lift. Inhale back. Just a tabletop. Don't let those legs creep too close to your body. Exhale, lift and reach. Two more. Lift and reach. One more. Lift and reach. But guess what? We're not done. Oblique curl. Inhale back. Exhale, lift and twist. Inhale back. Exhale, other side. Let's add in the leg. Inhale back. So we're going to lift and twist. We're going to reach the leg that we're not turning towards out and reaching the shoulder towards the knee that's still in. Inhale back. Exhale, reach. One more on each side. I know your abs are on fire. Exhale, reach. One more. And reach. And back. And bring the knees in and rest. And just rock to release off that lower back. Well done. Beautiful. Lovely. So we're going to bring those feet down and we're going to do a shoulder bridge with the option of using the foam roller under the feet. Now, using the foam roller under the feet makes it a lot more load on the hamstrings. So if you're the sort of person that tends to get cramping in the hamstring muscles, I wouldn't use the foam roller, just do it with flat feet. So I'm going to demonstrate with flat feet and then I will add in the foam roller later so you can see what that looks like as well. So we've got our arms by our side, our shoulders drawn down and back, same as usual. So do that body scan starting at our head. Chin tucks in, shoulders down and back. Spine starts neutral. Knees, feet in line with the hips. We're not pressing and gripping through the mat with our toes or our hands. We're going to T-zone switches on. So pelvic floor up, navel in. Press the spine in towards the mat. So we haven't switched our glutes on yet. I want you to use your tummy first. Tummy in. And when we can't press it in anymore, that's when we can squeeze our bottom and start to lift our hips, leading from the pubic bone. So that lower back comes up first, then the mid back, right up until we've got a nice long line between the knees, hips, and shoulders. Now make sure you're not doing this, going all the way up here. We shouldn't have any movement in through our neck and shoulders. So the shoulders should stay still. We're only going to that point where there's a nice flatness between the ribs, hips, and to the knees. So don't let those ribs pop out and move into the shoulder blades. Then we breathe in at the top of our bridge. And then as we breathe out, we press ourselves back down. So the upper back comes down first. And the mid back. Pressing the lower back down, but keeping the tailbone tucked under. right until the very last minute, and that's when you can unravel your pelvis back to neutral. And repeat, inhale. Exhale, draw in and lift. Draw in, draw in, draw in first. Really get those tummy muscles drawn in before you start to squeeze your bottom and lift. Then we breathe in at the top. And we breathe out and press back down. Good, and keep going. So if you were to place the foam roller underneath your feet, I'll show you what that looks like. Keep going though if you're not using one. Sometimes when you've got the foam roller, you need to change how close your feet are to your bottom. So that will depend on how tight you're feeling through your hamstring muscles. Same though with our feet, they're still hip distance apart. We're still not gripping with our hands. T-zone switches on. Imprint the spine and lift. So same exact exercise, we're just adding that instability of the foam roller. Breathe in at the top and breathe out and lower. Make sure you keep the pubic bone high. So you really need to keep that tailbone tucked under right until the end. Good, so we're all going to go up again and we're going to do a few exercises with our hips up to our glutes. So T-zone switches on. Exhale, draw in. Draw yourself up from your pubic bone. Up, 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 up. And then we're going to hold our hips up. And we're going to do our knees, outs and ins to start out with. So we're going to allow the legs to fall out so that they're coming onto the outside of our feet. And then bring them back to the middle. Out. Don't let the hips drop. And in. So hips stay elevated. Out. And in. Open. Don't grip through the hands. Good. Let's do one more. Excellent. And we're going to leave our knees out and do a little flutters with the knees. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Should feel your glutes working. Four, three, two. Don't let the hips drop. One. Back to the middle. Inhale at the top. And exhale, press back down. Now this is hard because you've been up for a while. Don't cheat. Press that upper back down first. Keep the tailbone tucked under. Then the lower back. Then finally unravel all the way back to neutral. And let the legs straighten. And rest. Very good. Let's stretch out our hamstrings after that. So we're going to take our band. If you're using a towel instead of a band, that's fine. You can use that. We place it around our foot. Don't have to keep the foam roller there if you don't want to. You can extend the other leg out. And remembering with our hamstring stretches, very often people need to have a bend in their knee. So there's very few people that can do this stretch with a straight leg and feel a pure hamstring stretch. More often than not, if people try to do this with a straight leg, they feel a burning sciatic nerve type of a stretch in their calf muscle or in their foot, which is not a hamstring stretch. What we really want is to localize it in the back of the thigh. And to do that, most people need to have a bit of bend in their knee. Bring that leg a little further towards you. And I actually need to have my leg slightly out to the side to get it in the right spot. So everybody's anatomy is a little bit different. So localize it for yourself. Feel where you get that really lovely stretch in the hamstrings. And then hold the stretch and breathe. Very good. And then we're going to do it in a thigh stretch. So keeping the band around our foot, making sure that we don't lift the opposite hip. We're going to very slowly let that leg fall out to the side. So keep the opposite hip pressing back down to the mat. Don't let it lift. And then if you want to increase the stretch, you can turn your heels slightly up towards the ceiling. So you're feeling that nice stretch in through the inner thigh. And again, we breathe into that stretch. So inhale and exhale. And then we're going to bring that leg across the body. So bringing it across the center line. But I want you to take care not to lift the spine or the pelvis off the mat. So we're not really taking that leg very far across. And this is a sciatic nerve stretch. So if you get it in the right position, you'll feel a burny stretch through the back side of the leg into the calf and the foot even. And it's quite a different sensation to a normal hamstring stretch. So you shouldn't have this leg all the way down to the floor on the other side. Keep the lower back on the mat and gently bring the leg across. Good, and we'll come back to the middle and switch legs. So place the other foot into the band. Reach the other leg out. Keeping a slight bend in the knee. Localizing that hamstring stretch. Lengthening the back of the thigh. Remember to customize the stretch for yourself. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. Don't compare it to what I'm doing or what anyone else is doing. Feel where your body feels that stretch in the hamstring. And then inner thigh stretch. So allow that leg to slowly fall out to the side, keeping the other leg extended out, taking care not to lift this hip. So keep that hip that you're not stretching, pressing down to the mat. And inner thigh stretch. I've got my foot in the bookcase, but it doesn't matter, I'm getting a nice stretch still. Very good. And then we'll bring that leg across so the tailbone stays down. And the leg comes across without lifting the lower back of the pelvis. So keep the pelvis glued to the mat and just bring the leg across and feel that nervy sciatic nerve sort of a stretch. Not everybody gets this stretch. Some people's hips are just not conducive to this stretch for some reason, so don't worry if you're not feeling it. It's rare, but there are people who don't get that stretching sensation with this particular stretch. Good. Now we're going to bring that leg back to the center. Place the band to the side and we're going to do pendulum. So pendulum, and then we're going to come up and do a little bit on our arms. So for our pendulum exercise, our arms are by our side, nice and relaxed to start off with. And we're going to think about bringing our legs into a tabletop position again. So T-zone switches on, press the spine in towards the mat. One leg comes up and then the other. And we glue those knees and the feet together. Our arms come out to the side now so that we're in a T position with our arms, palms facing upwards, so we're not pressing through the mat. So as we breathe in with this exercise, we allow our knees to fall out to the side. So we inhale as we allow our knees to fall out, taking care not to lift the opposite shoulder. And then as we exhale, draw the belly in, T-zone, 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 all the way back to the center. So you're using your obliques to draw your legs back to center. And then we switch sides. So inhale, the legs fall out the other way. And then exhale, T-zone, 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 those legs back to the middle. And alternating sides. Inhale. And exhale. Now it's really important that you've got those legs in that proper tabletop position. So we don't want them creeping towards the body. Keep the knees lined up with the hips, shins parallel with the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. Remember, the shoulders don't lift. So the pelvis can lift on that side that you're turning away from, but not the shoulders. So if you'd like to make this harder, you can extend the legs. So we inhale as we lower. Exhale, reach the legs out straight and bring them back. Bend, inhale, fall out the other way. Exhale, straighten the legs and bring them back. Inhale, bend and fall out. Exhale, straighten and back. Good. One more. Inhale. And straighten and back. Very good. Rest the legs one at a time. And we're going to come up to a sitting position now. Ready to do some work with our arms. Band is going around our feet. Our feet are nice and flexed, and we're sitting up nice and tall. So if you've got tight hamstrings, you might find it quite hard to sit up nice and tall with this exercise. So play with how far away your feet and your knees are from your body. You might find that you need to either bring your feet slightly closer or slightly further away to be able to get that neutral spine and sit on the proper part of your bottom. So we're going to cross the band over like this, and we're going to grab down close to our feet. So we've got quite a bit of resistance, but we're going to work these shoulder blades. I like to grab the band so that my fingers are in it and it's reasonably flat like that. But you can also wrap it around your hands if you want to, so that's up to you. Sitting up nice and tall, and in this seated position, we think about drawing our T-zone or our pelvic floor away from the mat and our navel in towards our spine. So inhale, pelvic floor up, navel in. And then as we exhale, our elbows come wide, our shoulders stay away from our ears, and we're trying to get our elbows past the line of the body without tensing our neck. So keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale back, T-zone. Exhale, pull. So we're working these shoulder blade muscles. And we've worked them a little bit already today, so they might be feeling a bit tired, but that's okay. Easy for me to say. Good. Let's do 3 more. And 3. And 2. And then we're going to hold it out and do little pulses. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Release the band. I want you to unwrap the band so that it's straight. And I want you to grab the band up so that it's in your fist. We're going to do a bicep curl now. So this time we want to make sure our palms are facing upwards. So not in, but up. And they need to stay in as you bring your hands towards your body. So we're not curling in and then bringing the hands in. That's a different muscle. We're trying to get into the bicep. So inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, draw in. Inhale and exhale. Good. So focus on posture here. And a little bit of work in our bicep, but mostly we want to think about our posture being nice and tall and upright. Good. Let's do pulses. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. We're going to do a roll back now. So I want you to extend the legs out straight. You might need to release a little bit of band because we're going to do the bicep curl with the roll back. So we'll practice a couple of roll backs first. T-zone switches on. As you exhale, I want you to draw your belly in towards your spine and make a C shape with your lower back. So it's really important, guys, that it's not this. I'm not just leaning backwards. I want you to press yourself back from your tummy. Tummy in and press back. Then inhale, hold it. And then exhale, curl up. All the way to tall. Good. And we're going to exhale and curl back. And then we're going to inhale, hold it, and do our bicep curl here. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, release. Now, if you're finding this really challenging, you can just keep doing that bicep curl without the roll back here. So this adds in the abdominal component as well as the bicep curl. Good. And 1. Inhale back. Exhale, curl up. Inhale all the way up to tall. Exhale, roll back again. So slightly different this time. Listen to the breathing. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, huff, huff, huff. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more. Make sure you're not tensing that neck. Last one. Inhale, exhale, roll up. Very good. And the legs, the band, bend the knees. Reach the hands underneath the legs. Grab hold of the elbows and lean away from the thighs so that the shoulder blades separate. And you get a nice stretch between the shoulder blades. So it's as if someone's pushing your chest away from your legs. So you're not grabbing your knees and holding onto them. You're grabbing your elbows and then your chest is pushing away from your thighs. So you're stretching through the shoulder blades. Good. 2 more breaths. And come up. Very good. So we're going to finish our arms off with a tricep extension with the band. So we're going to come into a kneeling position. And I'm just going to turn around so that you can see what this looks like from behind, because it does look a bit, it's hard to see from the front what I'm doing. So what we want is to hold the band in one hand, and we have, I hope you can still hear me, but we have the elbow as the highest point. And then what we do with this hand is we reach underneath and grab hold of the band underneath. And the movement is a straightening of both arms. Now the straightening is not out to the side, like this, and we're not hitching the shoulder towards the ear. So you need to keep your shoulder down away from the ear. This is quite an intense exercise for the tricep muscles. The other important thing here is that you're not kneeling like this. So keep your belly drawn in, keep your spine neutral. Inhale, T-zone switches on, keeping that elbow nice and high, and exhale, straighten both arms. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, straighten for 2. And 3. And 4. Good. 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to hold both arms out straight and do little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, second set. Inhale, exhale, straighten 1. Take care to make sure your shoulder's not hitching towards your ear. So you can keep that shoulder down away from the ear and still straighten that arm. You don't need to take the shoulder with you. 3, tummy in, 2, and straighten and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. Change arms. So now the other arm comes up. That becomes the top arm. And hooking that other arm underneath and grabbing the band from behind. Elbows are nice and close to the body, so we're remembering we're not ending up out to the side. We need to keep them close. T-zone switches on. If you want to make it a bit harder, take up more resistance. And then as you breathe out, you reach. 1. Make sure you're not tensing that neck towards the ear. 2. Arms should be working. 3, 4. Exhale. 6, 7. Let's do pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. All the way straight, not halfway. Inhale. Last set. Exhale. Straighten for 1. 1. All the way. 2. Triceps are burning. 3, 4. Tummy in. All the way straight. Pulses again. 8, 7. Keep your form. 4, 3, 2, One, and rest. And chuck the band away. And then we stretch. So we bring that elbow up and bring the shoulder across to feel the stretch in the back of the arm. Well done. A few nice deep breaths. And switch arms. Bring the other arm across now. Very good. And release off. Roll the shoulder blades back a few times. Oh, release off that neck. You guys are done. Well done, guys. Good job. So we'll do classes next week. I think it will be a Tuesday class and a Thursday class, I think. But keep an eye on the Facebook page, and I will let you know. And I will upload this video to YouTube as well, so you can do it down the track. And I'll just keep changing it up with different exercises in every class. And hopefully keep our fitness through this period. All right, guys.
Thanks, Mel. Thanks a lot. Bye.